Many seeing this title and rushing to watch will be saying, finally, common sense has caught up with Atiku Abubakar. He's now doing what he's supposed to do as a statesman. Many things they'll be thinking. But no, that's not what Atiku Abubakar meant in that BBC interview he granted yesterday. In that interview, he spoke in Hausa. He promised to step down for anyone that is more younger, vibrant, and acceptable candidate than himself, if that person emerges the presidential candidate of ADC. That's through a presidential primaries. So you can see he's not promising to step down for anyone just because the person is younger than him so as to allow him coast free and become the presidential candidate. No, he's still taunting the young person to contest if he feels the fact that he's younger than himself qualifies him or he thinks he can beat him in the party primaries. So what Atiku Abubakar said is more closer to what he said in 2023. Where he was asked, why is he contesting? Why is he not stepping down for young people to contest? He said it's a democracy, that anyone is free to contest. If he feels he's popular to beat him, put your head and contest.
Are you confident that you are going to get a ticket for a party?
Have I ever failed to get the ticket?
Yes. No, this time around, I want to know. Maybe you are so confident.
I'm confident. I'm confident.
But they are talking about age. That the elderly people should allow youth to take over. What do you say to that?
Let the youth compete now. It's competition. It's democracy.
Thank you very much.
Going into 2027 presidential election, one thing is becoming very clear. We are going to have three main presidential candidates. That's Tinubu, Atiku Abubakar, and Peter Obi. If we are going to have three of them, how are we sure that what played out in 2023 is not going to play out again in 2027? It's very obvious that Atiku Abubakar is going to contest. He's going to be on the ballot. ADC politicians are going to hand over the party's ticket to him on a platter. Whatever presidential primaries they're going to organize will be a bazaar. It will be Atiku Abubakar's game to lose. After all, he mentioned why they left PDP. Yes, because PDP have been overwhelmed with crisis, so he had to leave. And he's part of that crisis, if we are telling ourselves the truth. Many PDP politicians have acknowledged that they made a mistake in 2023. Some have gone as far as saying that Atiku Abubakar cost them the presidential election of 2023, that they shouldn't have zoned the presidential ticket to the north when a northerner, Muhammadu Buhari, was about to complete his 8-year tenure. So you can imagine, if PDP members are saying this now, they are not going to support Atiku Abubakar. Never mind the fact that they still have a problem with Wike. But Atiku Abubakar is another game altogether. Majority of them, especially the governors, are not going to support him. That was why he left. So now that he left and somehow organized politicians under ADC, he's not going to allow any other person to snatch that ticket from him. After spending hours, including money, everything to organize politicians under ADC, how is he going to allow someone else to come and snatch the presidential ticket of the ADC? Now, many might be wondering why Goodluck Jonathan is not in the equation, despite the fact that he is consulting widely to see how he's going to run in 2027. It is simply because no party will take that risk. It's a huge amount of risk not to have a candidate in a presidential election. Going by the threat from the presidency that they will challenge his eligibility in court, no party will take that risk. We already know how any court case against this government will go. Yes, it's very predictable. No matter how right you think you are, when they take you to court or you take them to court, they will win you. The judges will find ways to turn everything upside down and hand them a win. It's as simple as that. So it doesn't look like Goodluck Jonathan will be on the ballot because you can't say which party will give him that ticket. Is it ADC that is going to give their ticket to Atiku Abubakar, or is it PDP? Well, time will tell. Now, on Peter Obi's side, it's left for him to go into a sort of alliance with PDP. They still have about 8 or 9 governors, not counting Governor Adeleke of Osun State, a man that accused Tinubu of being a dictator, not following the laws, many things. His government has taken Tinubu's government to court because of the local government allocations they seized. As a matter of fact, in court now, they are now saying the government released the allocation but to some private accounts. Many issues going on. So you can see someone that is accusing Tinubu of doing all this. On the other hand, he ended up endorsing him. The entire Osun State PDP endorsed him for second term in 2027. How does Nigerian politics work? Why do politicians don't understand that when people vote for you, it's like they entrusted you with their lives? A man that didn't win your state in 2023, a man that the people didn't vote his candidate in the governorship election, they voted for you. You now turned around and endorsed the same man just because of what? Sycophancy or what? What are you going to call it? Maybe he's trying to get favors so that no one will try to rig an election when he's contesting. Whatever it is, but it doesn't make any sense. People should learn how to stand their ground, how to do things based on principles. You do not praise a man that you are accusing of being a dictator, accusing of seizing the local government allocations, many issues, and you still turn around and endorse the person. What message are you sending? So Peter Obi should convince the remaining PDP governors who are yet to endorse Tinubu. He should bring something to the table so as to get them on board. He should focus more on politics. What's in it for them? Because Nigerian politicians don't care about development. If they cared, Nigeria wouldn't be where it is today. Look at all the Niger Delta states. Look at all the billions of dollars they've collected in revenue since the Fourth Republic. But look at their states, look at their cities. So they don't care about development. He should convince them on the political side. What's in it for them? He should explain it to them so that they will come on board. They already understand and know his developmental strides, his plans for Nigeria. They know that. But that's not their top priority. If it were, even ADC members would be saying no. This ticket should automatically go to someone like Peter Obi. Or even if it's not automatic, they should be saying there must be zoning. It must be zoned to the south. They will be serious about it because we are talking about developing and saving Nigeria here. But they don't really care. All they care about is politics. What's in it for me? What's in it for everyone around me? What's in it for my region? What's in it for my associates? They never talk about what's in it for Nigeria or Nigerians. The next step should be to bring in the CPC members who are mostly today in ADC and APC. It's going to be very difficult, and most importantly, it must be focused on politics. Like already said, most of them don't give a damn about development. Once they are okay, once they are wealthy enough, they don't like anything, they focus on themselves. They don't give a damn whether people are hungry and all that. These are just things they use for campaigning. As a matter of fact, if you check how long Northerners have been in power in this country, despite the fact that majority of the revenue comes from the south, but if you look around them, look at their people, you see that the fact that they have been in power have never translated to the development of their people. So if they were concerned about development, their people would have been the topmost priority. Development here is human development, not physical development, building of roads and other physical infrastructure. No, it has to start with human development. When you develop people, they will now start seeking those physical services and you now focus on them. If you build a railway line, build dual carriage highways and everything, if people don't have cars, they won't drive on the roads. If people don't have money, they won't board the new trains, the new shiny equipment you bought. They won't use them. So you have to start with Nigerians first. If Nigerians are developed and they start demanding services, you provide the services, and from there, everyone will become prosperous. That's how it works. So if he's able to negotiate with the CPC guys and PDP guys, bringing them on board, there is nothing that is going to stop him from trouncing them the way he did in 2023 presidential election. One last thing, everyone seems focused on politics now, largely driven by Tinubu's focus on campaigning right from the first year they came to power. So no one is actually playing that opposition politics to APC. Going by Tinubu's independent speech, it is riddled with lies, saying things like everywhere that has been liberated they are flourishing, no more bandit attacks, no more terrorist attacks, and things like Nigeria now has many modern hospitals, many lies and misrepresentations. No one is taking him on it. He's just living in another world, in another reality altogether. Nigeria now has world-class hospitals, but every time he flies abroad for medical checkup, he can't use those hospitals that he claims are already in Nigeria. So all these things They are the job of the opposition. They are supposed to counter-attack, tell Nigerians these are lies. They should bring the evidence. They shouldn't just allow him to be spreading false narratives. Many people will continue to fall for these narratives, although they experience it. But you understand Nigerians, rather than fighting, they rather say, let him talk, let it be that way, no need to counter. But you must counter. That's the job of the opposition. If you don't do this, then silence might mean complicity. You are agreeing that all that he said is correct. Meanwhile, during his time in opposition, he didn't give the government in power any gap. Any slightest thing, they ran to the press, countered the government. They were keeping on with the government, keeping them to their toes. The opposition should learn from that. They should continue to counter any false narrative so that Nigerians will understand that they are lies. And by so doing, you draw more Nigerians to your side because they will see that you are telling the truth, unlike the government that is spreading false narratives. This is the way to go. Thanks for watching.